Hi everybody, my name's Connor. I'm an indie developer currently working on Dryad. This is the second devlog of the project, and I got some positive feedback from you guys on the last devlog, and I thought I would follow up to show you guys the progress that I've been making in the last couple of weeks. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. First, I wanted to start out by saying thank you to everybody who gave their positive support on the project. Specifically, I'd like to highlight the Luigi guy who said, "Looking solid and looking forward to future updates. Good luck. As someone who wants to make a platformer like Cave Story, this is really cool to see." I just wanted to say thanks so much. It really means a lot that you are repping the whole Cave Story brand. I wish you the best of luck in making your own platformer. I also wanted to highlight Del2, who is the developer of Bon Appetit. He said that I'm in front of a green screen but forgot the projection for it, referring to the green background, and then said that he really liked that the hero was cute and the game looked very non-Hollow Knight. Also said that the frog enemies were cute and enjoyed that the video was made to be specifically shown off on these Metroidvania subreddits. So thanks so much, Del, for those positive words. I hope you enjoy the future updates. So let's go ahead and move on to what I worked on these last couple of weeks. Now, I have been a bit busy with a new job starting up, and so I wasn't able to work as much on the project as I would have liked. But I was still able to make pretty good progress in establishing a base system for the game. One thing that I was happy to implement was these organic shapes, which allow me to walk around on slopes without it looking too game grid-like. These work perfectly with the collision system, and I've tested them with the enemies as well, and so going forward there shouldn't be any problem with these. I also implemented water, just a very rudimentary system. No graphics for it yet or anything like that, but right now when you stand in the water you are slower, as well as you jump significantly lower. And this is basically directly pulled from Cave Story. I really like how Cave Story's water system works. Going forward, I might need to tweak it a little bit just because if I ever wanted to do any underwater sections, right now it is incredibly limiting how detrimental the water drag is. And so I would probably have to rework this depending on how I'm feeling. I also spent a lot of time on art this milestone. I'm not much of an artist, and so I want to make sure that the art for the game still looks passable, which is why I've decided mostly to do pixel art. Here is a small compilation of some of the art that I've been working on. I've got new NPCs, I've got some new icon pickups, as well as the explosion particle effects are new. I've also got some new landscapes, but to be honest, right now, any landscape art that I have is kind of temporary. I'm not sure where I want to go with the levels, and so I don't want to make sure that I want to make sure that I don't put too much effort into these landscape arts right now. That being said, I've also been working on quite a bit of level design, so I've been spending some time going through and mocking up what I want some of the levels to look like. Here is a time lapse of me working on what I'm hoping it can be the starting level, which is the grotto. The grotto is a safe haven for the character. It is essentially a place that they can learn how to use the controls and understand what the point of the game is, to explore and to gather new items and power-ups and whatnot. And so this is me just sort of roughing out what the grotto should look like, and then going back through and making sure that the artwork for it is able to be seen when I scan it into my computer, so making the lines a little bit darker, and then taking it actually and putting it through some photo processing and throwing it into the Unity editor so that I can draw directly onto it with my tiles. And everything doesn't match up perfectly, but that's just to be expected. I can't draw on a grid as a human unless I was using maybe some really large graph paper, which I might invest in but we'll see going forward. I think this is a good enough solution for now. And finally, I'm not sure if I showed this off in the last devlog, but I've got these backgrounds working, and I've placed pretty much everything that I've been working on for these last 4 weeks rather into this sample level. And so going through the level, it shows off different aspects of the game that have been developed so far, the dialogue, the water, the slopes. It also shows off the new weapon system, as in picking up items, picking up weapons, and the level up system, which I will talk about now. So I spent a lot of time thinking about how I wanted to do the level up system, and I wanted to definitely have some inspiration from Cave Story, but I didn't want to do the exact same thing. I felt that one of the big glaring issues that jumped out to me from the design of Cave Story's level system is that players would level up a gun and then stick with it because it was their most powerful gun. They were more comfortable. They were the most comfortable using it, and so there really wasn't any incentive to switch off of whatever you are most proficient in. Definitely, I think later in the game there are some enemies that are significantly easier to kill with certain weapons, but for the most part, every enemy can be dealt with a max level Polar Star or a max level Fireball. And so I think that when I was thinking about how I wanted to develop the weapons for this game, I wanted to encourage the player to switch between them at their own will. And I wanted to make sure that every weapon was seeing a fair amount of usage. And this is what I came up with. And I would love to get feedback on this if you guys have any thoughts on it. So the idea is the player will have 3 levels, and those 3 levels will increase with the XP that you garner, just like any other game. The difference is that when you level up, all of your guns will level up. So each gun will have 3 different distinct states, just like in Cave Story, except their XP will be shared between all of them. And essentially what that's going to do is that's going to make the player want to experiment and try these 3rd level weapons, even though they are comfortable using the 1st or 2nd level weapons of other guns. As well as sort of incentivizing switching through that, I also want to make the different weapons stronger at different levels. So in Cave Story, you got a little bit of this. The Nemesis was strongest at level 1. The blade could deal a very significant amount of damage at level 2, and at level 3 it was a huge area of effect attack. What I want to be able to do is when I'm designing the new weapons, I want to make sure that there's a balance between weapons that are strong at level 1, strong at level 2, and strong at level 3. Obviously, every weapon is still going to be usable at every level, but I think that the idea of having a player, throwing out shuriken, and then leveling up and then saying, okay, I'm level 2 now. I know the flamethrower is going to be really strong now. So then switching their guns to the flamethrower, attacking, and then once they level up again, okay, now I know that, the Excalibur is going to be max level, and so I can use that. And I think that doing that will... Oh, and I forgot to mention, the player's XP will slowly drain over time. And that is just to sort of make sure that the player is going to keep moving and keep gaining XP and sort of push them through the levels and motivate them to test their abilities. And I think with all of these things combined, it's going to create a weapon system that is unique and feels sort of motivating to the player, encouraging them to try new things, to sort of switch weapons around and really develop a mastery of the system. I'd love to get some feedback on this, so if you guys think that, if you could see any glaring flaws with this ideology, I would love to hear them. And if you have any thoughts of your own on how this weapon system could be tweaked or changed, let me know. I'd love to hear that. Other than that, I think that is pretty much everything I have to talk about. So if you guys are interested in seeing more of the devlogs, make sure you leave an upvote or a like, and share your feedback in the comments. I really appreciated all of the positive feedback that we got last time. So thank you guys very much, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Bye-bye.